rock bottom. Uh, this is a hard video to do because a video like this, you kind of give up a piece of yourself. Well, where to start? Machinima dropped me January 28th this year. And I made a few decisions in my life that really crippled me when they dropped me. Because I had like a 3-year contract with Machinima. I signed one. And under the premise of me signing a 3-year contract, I bought things and made obligations that I normally otherwise would not have. But basically they had like a clause to get out the contract, whereas I thought I was in it for 3 years and the money I was making was gonna last for 3 years. It turned on top of my head, but that's the sob story everybody has. Regardless, January came. I finished January strong with 3.1 million views. And then it came to the point where I had to find another partner or re-sign with Machinima at a marginally lower rate. So I decided to try somebody else for a couple reasons. One, I didn't feel Machinima was a ship that was staying afloat. I don't know the reasoning behind Machinima dropping everybody. I know they were losing money on my channel, and they were giving me a rate that they wouldn't lose money on my channel. They would actually break even. They weren't trying to hoodoo me in any way, shape, or form. But I felt that I needed to switch to a situation where I would get paid what my channel actually makes. I didn't want to go straight through AdSense because I was afraid that I would have nobody to go to bat for me if I would get a strike. And I didn't. And Google is very hard to deal with if you're not in their little circle. With Machinima, they're on the board of they're on the board of YouTube because they're like the number 3 biggest channel. And you have other big partnerships that can, get strikes removed if something would happen, because a strike on a channel really hinders it. And so I ended up going with full screen because they basically offered me the deal everybody else offered. Almost every other network was just a subsidiary of full screen, and they offered a worse spread. And with full screen, I got a sign-on bonus and a partnership at the same time. And I basically jumped into uncharted waters, and it didn't work out. Basically in February, which is a 28-day month, which is notoriously for being the worst month of the year anyway, I did very poorly. I mean, I missed the first week because I didn't have a partnership, and then people questioned me I was only doing YouTube for money, and then I got depressed, and shit just fell apart because I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. I could see that the projected payments wasn't going to be on par with paying my bills, and so all I did was cross my fingers and get more and more depressed. So I went from averaging around 3 million views for last 3.5 years to averaging 1.5 million views. So my views got cut in half like the very next, as soon as I started back. And a lot of that comes from me not making as many videos. Beforehand, January, February, and March pay abysmally. They pay very little. There's just no ads. Christmas time's up. All the advertisers use all their marketing money, and the marketing money hasn't replenished. So there's no big summertime movies coming out. Nobody's really putting big inventions out. So ad sales are very little. You generally get whatever Google ad sales are, which you pay Google a certain percentage of your money for those Google ad sales. So that's that. So basically, my channel's not doing very well. I've been going into the red for February, March, April, May, June. 5 months now. I've been going into the red. Going into red meaning I'm spending more than I'm making via bills and livelihoods and necessities. Which, that's none of your guys' fault. I'm just letting you know part of rock bottom. I'm by no means in a point where I need money right now. I'm not even begging for money or asking for money, so there's no need to go there. I'm not even close to that point yet. I'm probably 6 or 7 months out of that still, before it gets to a point where like, oh shit, I'm broke. I'm not there yet. Luckily for me, I had somewhere along the lines of 20 grand saved up, and yeah, I've been living off that. But I digress. One of the things that helped me stay through this, and one of the things that kind of hindered this in the same speaking, is Brandy. I met Brandy in August, and we started going out. And in January, I got depressed. But toward the end of January, I got depressed, and I kind of started taking days off. And I really liked not having to do YouTube. Like, you got to understand the idea that I've worked 7 days a week for the last 3.5, 4 years at that point, never missing a day, uploading anywhere from 3 to 5 videos a day. And when I got that week off, it kind of like kick-started a lazy bug in me. And when you start getting lazy, you start laying down, you start sleeping more, you start getting depressed, you start realizing how fat you are, and end up being fat depresses you, and that makes you want to eat. When you eat, you feel depressed. It's just the constant cycle of being a failure. That on top of just the negative comments. People are always like, why do you point and just zero in those negative comments? And like, I just can't help it. I can't. I used to have the skin of an elephant. Back in Modern Warfare 2, maybe Black Ops 1, I could care fuck less what you said about me. One, because I was making plenty of money, and money does help you with thick skin. Two, I was just built that way. I've heard this bullshit over and over again, but just like a big strong statue or a huge rock, time withers you away and you eventually crack. And once you crack, you're never going to be the same person you were. And not to mention, I feel like I've gotten more humble over the years. Toward Modern Warfare 2, I believed I could be one of the best in the game, and I strived to be the best I could be. And as time went on, I slowly realized I wasn't as good as I thought. But I couldn't let that persona drop, so I kept playing on it. And as I played, and I played more, and I played more, and I played more, I started to hate the game, because I started realizing that the little changes that were made during Call of Duty, the little things, and I was where a lot of people are now a year, 2 years ago, probably towards the end of Black Ops 1, where I was just fed up with it. It's like, oh man, this shit sucks. I don't want to play this. And then Modern Warfare 3 came out. For those of you who don't know, I've only played 6 days of Modern Warfare 3. I spent the entire year of Modern Warfare 3 pretty much borrowing gameplay, because I was so fed up with Call of Duty just from the repetition that I pretty much I just couldn't do it. I mean, like, I could do it, but I was like, the money's still good. And the people say they only hear me for commentary, so I just do this. And I did that for a while. And then Black Ops 2 came out. Black Ops 2 was a little bit better, and I took a pretty good break from Call of Duty. But that was a little long-lived. It lasted about 2 months, and I got tired of Call of Duty again. But this is the same stop story. Let's go on. Basically, you get tired of your main income thing, which is Call of Duty. And like, people even to this day ask me, where are the commentaries at? And like myself, I tried a couple times to break the cycle of my channel. Like, I really like getting personal with you guys, but at the same time, I really hate doing everything in the cycle. For example, if I go shoot a video, I have to be the cameraman, the actor, the writer, the music guy, the editor, the whole nine, and I'm not good at any of that. I'm not. I'm a self-taught guy. I mean, when I first started this, I didn't even know how to put audio. I didn't know how to put commentary over a video. I had to have my buddy Taylor teach me that. And I slowly progressed to getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Some people learn faster than me. Some people have more motivation than me. Some people have I want to say, a better pride in the work than I do. So I've always supplemented my inability to edit or make creative content with my ability to work insane amount of hours. So that kind of ran my channel to the ground too, quantity over quality. But yet, that's another thing. So at this point, I don't know where I want to take my channel, because I want to play Call of Duty, but at the same time, I don't, because I realize I'm nowhere close to being the best. I realize that everybody and their mother has tip videos, and they do them much better than me. And I realize that I've used most of my stories up for commentaries. I mean, there's nothing I really do that's different than anybody else, and that right there bothers me, that I do nothing different. And I've tried the series and I've tried everything, but like right now, my mind is blank. I'm usually so quick-witted with everything, but my mind just goes blank, and I just give up. I'm just like, oh well. Just like recently, The Last of Us. There's like 17 or 18 videos in a row have been like The Last of Us, which a lot of people like it. There's like 4,000 or 5,000 people that like it. And cool. I liked playing it. But then it comes to the point where I'm done with it and it's about to be done altogether. What will I do now? Will I go on another period where I don't put nothing up? But that's working backwards, because that's hurting the original problem, which I'm not making enough money to sustain life, or to sustain this way of life that I live, which isn't glamorous at all. People that say like, oh, you play video games for a living. You see the stuff behind me? I sit in this room 7 days a week, 10 to 12, sometimes 15 hours a day. I look at that TV, look at that monitor, look at this monitor, talking to this microphone. That's life for me. I mean, that's all life has been. And like, I'm at this point of depression where I don't want to do anything else. And I'm going to keep minding that, because I'm going to come to that here in a minute. Well, Brandy just broke up with me probably about 20 minutes ago. And the reason she broke up with me is because I need more time to do YouTube. Plain and simple. Let's see. And she says she feels bad that she can't always come over here, and she knows I can't always go over to her because it sets me back. Because part of the reason I started taking days off was to spend more time with her, and she doesn't have things like internet, cable TV. So when I go over to her house, I'm pretty much, all I have is my phone, and I can't sit there and do too much on my phone because I only have like a 6 gigabyte data plan. And like, I can't sit there and watch movies and stuff on my phone for like, 8 to 10 hours a day. So I basically use Twitter and maybe play Final Fantasy Tactics Final Fantasy Tactics, the War of the Lions. And little things like that, help her clean, stuff like that. And it got to the point, I was doing that so often, I didn't have time to do work. And I enjoyed not being in the room because it kind of alleviated cabin fever. If you don't know what cabin fever is, it's kind of like it's a feeling And I can't define the feeling. It's more like it's it's just this feeling that overcomes you, that you just have to get out of the house. You have to get out of this room. It's actually a form of torture. Like, you ever put a person in a white room with nothing there? Your brain just can't handle it. And you get really antsy, and it fills you with anxiety. And Brandy was the only thing holding. It's hard to say. Excuse me. This is unedited, by the way. Brandy was the only thing that was keeping me up. And I don't know what life holds for me now. I fail at every diet I take. I fail at every workout regimen I ever do. I give up so easily. I've never succeeded in anything. And people could say I've succeeded in YouTube, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like every time I look, there's another new channel that's just in full throttle passing me. And my channel hasn't really grown in probably 2.5 years, probably pushing 3 at this point. I mean, I'm currently growing like 80 subs a day, and that's like 80 subs a day. That's like 560 subs a week. And some people would love that, but for a channel my size, that's pretty much no growth at all. Because being a channel of my size, you get a lot more benefits that other people don't get. You get like front page spots in gaming. You get all these other things, and like if I was to ask somebody coming to my channel what was my channel about, I couldn't tell them. Like, I don't know, a guy that plays games. I mean, I've been trying to do the change up on the channel. You see the new banner, you see the new layouts, you see me trying extra hard on certain videos. And have lots of people that put extra time into me. I mean, they put their time in for free, and like, I don't know how to repay them. I don't know how to give them gratitude, but at the same time, it's not working. Last of Us, for example. I put a lot of salt into The Last of Us. I bought the game when it came out. I beat it within 12 hours on Twitch TV on hard mode, and then I started the Let's Play the next day, and up on Survivor mode. And like, the first thing that happened was people started bickering that I'd not doing a blind Let's Play, which I'm like, oh, people want to see blind Let's Plays. And ow, I bit my tongue. And I basically had SEO tags. I had people that pretty much wrote Google search engine give me tags. We looked at other people that were succeeding in tags, and like, none of it worked. I'm still like one of the least viewed Last of Us Let's Plays out there. I mean, like, I see people that I've never even heard of that have success with it, whereas I didn't, and I don't know why. I don't, and that bothers me that I don't know why. Like, it feels like it makes it feels like you can't succeed. That, coupled on the Brandy breaking up with me, which sucks, because I have to do this, and I can't keep a balance in life, and I can't afford to go get another girlfriend, because I can't afford to take people out right now, because I'm pretty much making no money. Every month's the red. This is why I bitch on Twitter all the time. This is why people see me as a sad person. I just feel so alone.